And one of the core responsibilities of Congress is oversight. It's because oversight is about transparency, which is essential to public trust. Oversight is essential to cracking down on waste, fraud, and abuse, which I'm deeply committed to. Oversight is about making sure that our government works for hardworking people and that we give the American people and our small businesses the certainty that they need and deserve. Another core constitutional responsibility of Congress is the power of the purse, the power to direct and control federal spending. And that's because we live in a democracy and not in a monarchy. And so what we've seen in the last 51 days is an unprecedented assault on this power of Congress. It's an assault that is lawless, it's dangerous, and it has had a really bad impact on so many of our small businesses and workers across this country and across New Hampshire. Mr. Trent, you testified that federal funding freezes are a direct attack on small businesses, on the stability that small businesses need. And that's certainly what I'm hearing from small businesses across New Hampshire who are unsure about whether they can keep workers on payroll, who aren't sure how they're going to provide health care to those workers. I wondered if you could say more about what you're seeing from federal funding freezes across the country.
So we've got hundreds of members that were directly impacted by those funding freezes, and the impact ripples throughout their own local economy. One member in New Glarus, Wisconsin, runs a child care facility. Worried about state block grant funding, she thought that she might not be able to make payroll the next month and would have to fire half of her team. We have in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, a member who does groundbreaking research for the government. She logs into her funding portal one morning and finds that the funding that was supposed to be powering her work was nowhere to be found, totally frozen. We've still got folks who are wrestling with these freezes, and everyone is just told to be excited about the incoming, deregulation regime. And so it's really unfair, and we're certainly hearing from most of our members that this is something that's impacting them every single day.
Well, I should say also the impact of these freezes has been on SBA workers in the state of New Hampshire. It's not just here in the Capitol, it's across the country in field offices, which is harming our small businesses too. Mr. Trent, you wrote about a subject that I care deeply about, fair competition. And I think it's another issue that should unite us all here in Congress. Our antitrust and consumer protection laws are as old, the ideas in them are as old as America. It's about checking power. And here on the Small Business Committee, we're about bringing power back to our small businesses at a time when the American economy has never been more consolidated. You wrote about the impact of the unprecedented access that an unelected billionaire in the White House has to the sensitive data of small businesses and of people across the United States. You testified that this destroys fair competition alongside the destruction of public trust. Can you say more about that?
So there's a reason why Walmart doesn't have access to the books of the mom and pop stores right down the street from it. There's a reason why no other CEO in this country has access to the bank statements, taxpayer data of small businesses, because it's an unbelievably unfair advantage. And this includes the taxpayer data and bank statements of some of Elon Musk's actual competitors. And so we need to be doing everything in our power to make sure that the playing field is level for small businesses to compete. And I'll just respond by respectfully disagreeing with some statements around deregulation and tax code that have been made. With deregulation, can be good, but very often the benefits accrue to the largest companies in the world. The repeal of Dodd-Frank and the lessening of restrictions around capital requirements inevitably led to the fallout of Silicon Valley Bank. JP Morgan was quick to gobble up thousands and thousands of depositors while a lot of different small banks languished, right? The tax code, 82% of surveyed small business owners believe that the tax code is currently rigged against them, favoring large corporations. So you've got a growing sentiment among small business owners that things aren't fair, and we need to do something to fix that.